All right. So thank you so much for joining us for Integrity. Yes, I said it right this time. Integrity Leadership class. So the past few weeks have been really crazy, from preparing for a storm to so much going on in this area. Hurricane season hits us, and we make sure that we're prepared, as well as other things. So we are going to actually review the entire book, Friend and Foe. So I would like to start off with asking, for those of you who have read, if you would like to pick out a section in the book that stuck out to you and what you learned from it. All right. So what I really liked about Friend and Foe, Friend or Foe, is how as he's going through it, not only does he give you the upside to things, but he also gives you the downside to things, and he shows you the difference between being a friend or a foe, and and then from there, he lets you know when it's a good time to be a friend or a foe. So who would like to, is there something that anyone would like to point out in the book that caught their attention and would like to share it with us? Go ahead, Ms. Reese.
Hey, Grace, I just wanted to ask for the book again since I don't have it.
Oh, no worries. It's Friend and Foe by Adam Galinsky and Maurice Schweitzer. And if you have not read it yet, it's okay. You will still be able to participate just on the concepts alone of the book. And you can always, please feel free to just add value based on what if you hear something based on what you hear.
Okay. So, how long are we going to be working on this book for?
So we're actually closing out this book, but next week we start on Conversations with God, book 1 by Neil Donald.
I know that one. I know all those books.
Awesome, great. So what I'll do is I'll make sure that we get you an itinerary for the rest of the Integrity Leadership class, so you know what books are coming up, so you'll have all that information. But next week we will be doing, I believe it's chapters 1 through 3. Hold on, let me check for you, and then we'll make sure that you get this as well.
Great, thank you so much.
Oh, you're so very welcome. So very welcome. So for those of you just joining us today, we're going to close out Friend or Foe. And next week we start Conversations with God, chapters 1, 2, and 3. Chapters 1, 2, and 3 of Conversations with God, book 1. And we're going to do that all of August. And then the first Thursday in September, we will doing the Code of the Extraordinary Mind. And that is when our wonderful boss man.
Oh, that one is fire. I've read it like 3 times. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It is an amazing book. And that's when our wonderful leader, Mr. Antonio T. Smith Jr., will pick up on the teaching of the Integrity Leadership class. So after Conversations with God, we'll have the Code of the Extraordinary Mind, and we will close out the class with Think and Grow Rich. So we're definitely looking forward to that. So next week, we start with Conversations with God, book 1, chapters 1, 2, and 3. All right. So since so is there anyone who has anything that they would like to say? If not, Reverend Reginald, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing just fine. We can start with chapter 1, page 19.
Oh, chapter 1, page 19.
I guess I light the candle.
Okay. Well, actually, yeah. Grace unmuted. So.
Oh, she did. Don't correct me no more. I told you. we just got back together, and you corrected me already.
I didn't say anything.
We only 6 minutes into the call, and you corrected me. God, I'm glad I have you on my side to correct me.
Okay. Lord, I wanted to start. I had
Don't
something
collect yourself.
on page 5. On page 5, in the introduction, at the bottom where it's talking about striking the right balance. And
Oh yeah.
saying the ongoing tension between competition and cooperation emerges from 3 fundamental sources. First, resources are scarce. Second, humans are social beings. And third, our social world is inherently unstable and dynamic. And it talks about the 3 different fundamentals. And with scarcity, it gave the example of Black Friday, the day right after Thanksgiving, where, well, and because it talks about cooperation and competition. Well, at Black Friday, everybody's cooperating by standing outside, waiting for the doors to open, and and beat the doors and all that kind of stuff. But as soon as the doors open, they trampling over people. It's competition time because I got to get to this TV that I want. I got to get to this PlayStation now. You know what I'm saying? When resources are scarce, there's a time to cooperate. There's a time to compete. And then they talk about the second part, which is the social aspect, where humans are inherently social animals. They gave the example of siblings, how siblings can be friends and siblings can be foes. And when siblings are friends, it's called brotherly love. But when they cooperate, it's brotherly love. But when it's competing time, that's sibling rivalry. As we talk about that. And then the third one was social. Hold on, what was it called? Unstable and dynamic. And I forgot the example in that one. Oh, I'm sorry. The sibling rivalry and then brotherly love. That's the unstable and dynamic. And the social one is when we're cooperating because we're social beings. We love just getting together, hanging out. But then that's cooperating. But when it's competing time, we love to gossip. Did you hear about sister so and so? There you go. So that's what stuck out to me.
Yeah, I agree because when I read that about gossip, I was like, gossip can bond you, and at the same time, gossip can make you a friend, or gossip can make you a foe. I love it. I love it. And then the brotherly love and that sibling rivalry, it's amazing how it can easily just shift from one to the next. You can have the wrong type of conversation. You can have the wrong type. You can not have a good mood. Say something in the wrong tone to your sibling, and you instantly have sibling rivalry versus the brotherly love that you had before. So it's amazing how things shift. And then the Black Friday example, I was like, wow, that was crazy. So thank you, Grace, very much for giving us your input in how and what you got out of the book in just the first few pages. All right, so Reverend Reginald.
Yeah. Let's continue to stay right where we at before I even go into my notebook. First of all, we need to talk about when we was in this office and we had this piece of paper on the wall and it had numbers on there. And me and my sisters, we are cool, calm, and collective. We have the greatest time together. But if you let a Mitchell or a Sandals get a sale on me, it is going down. It is phone time. Do you understand me? They all know. What's my favorite saying? Y'all know y'all got me messed up. That's not what I say. I'm keeping it in integrity right now. I'm keeping it all in integrity right now. But that ain't what I said when we was in the office. I go on my little corner and I ain't talking to them until I get a sale. And when I get a sale, I make sure they know that I got a sale. They gonna know it. Period. I come there on the phone while I'm wrapping it up nice and loud. So that reminded me when they say that brother and sister, sibling, rival, that's us to this day, today, right now at 6:41 on my phone, Central Standard Time. Y'all got me messed up. Still. You understand me? Hey, man, say, man, y'all got me messed up still. You understand? Sister Sanders, you understand?
Go ahead. I
Okay.
understand.
All right. All right. So I love you. Don't you correct me no more this phone call. Miss Mitchell, how you been, Miss Mitchell?
I've been
Let's
great,
see.
Reverend
Let's
Reginald. How have you
see.
been? Yes, yes,
I've been
sir.
all right. All right. I
Yes,
see you,
sir.
Jerome. Nah, you ain't gonna get away. All right now. All right now. Okay, so let me get my notebook. I put in Antonio. I read the book in 45 minutes. The whole book. Yeah. I channeled my inner ATS lion, and it was actually good though. That's why I read. See, look, let me tell y'all something. Y'all get a little. When the book good, you can read it like that.
Yes.
When the book good, you understand what I'm saying? So, and it caught my attention. So I had no choice. Plus I had no choice twice. But at the same time, I enjoyed. I even called him today and told him that I enjoyed it. So let's get right into it, shall we, please?
Let's,
Page 19.
yes, sir.
It says, chapter 1. Chapter 1. Pull out your books and turn to page 19. Hold on, let me get my reading glasses. Y'all think it's a game. Get my reading glasses out. Yeah, we're going to school today, people. Totally. Give me 1 second. I want you to turn to page 19, chapter 1, and it says, the areas that matter to you the most are the same areas where you are likely to feel the most threatened and most motivated by competition from others. So I put why. I want to know why is that. Anybody, y'all, if y'all want me to read it again, I can. I can put my glasses on the tip of my nose and I can read it again just like this right here. Brother Bernice, right here. The areas that matter most to you are the same areas where you are likely to feel the most threatened and most motivated by competition from others. Why is that?
That's a good
Floor is
question.
open.
Yeah, it is. It is. Great question. Yes.
Okay, the areas. Okay, so take the three of us. So at the time, sales mattered to us the most, the three of us, right? So we feel the most threatened when one of us got a sale, and okay, you had us messed up. Okay,
Yeah.
y'all, either y'all had me messed up, we had Deanna messed up, or we had you messed up.
All
That's right.
messed up. All the way.
But then we felt threatened, but it also motivated us to go and get a sale.
Okay. That's a good example. The areas that matter to you the most are the same areas you are likely to feel the most threatened.
I believe
Why would you feel most threatened? No, like why would you? Because you feel like somebody gonna be better than you at what you better at.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I would feel like a failure if I didn't, because it matters a lot to me, and I feel like a failure if I don't get it done because it matters the most to me.
I'm writing this down, Grace.
But on another note, the areas that matter most to you are the areas that you have confidence in. So when someone comes along,
Can't nobody tell you nothing? Is that what you're trying to say?
no, it's not that.
Come
When
on,
you have
come on.
you have the most confidence in an area,
Can't
you're
nobody
gonna
tell me nothing.
you're gonna feel more threatened as well when somebody starts tapping into your confidence. So if
Yeah.
I'm confident that every time I get on that I'm the top seller in the company, and then here you come and you gonna start selling, I'm more threatened in that area because you're tapping into my confidence. I'm
No.
the top seller, and now you're selling just as much or more than I am. We got a problem, but at the same time, it is going to give me more motivation because you got me all the way.
I hear your tone. I mean, we on an integrity phone call. This is I bring it down a little bit. I feel threatened. was scared over here. That's your whole tone, everything. And when Look, when you make, when they get, when you get, yeah, this right here,
Yeah.
it's a wrap, Jack.
I'm
Hey.
just saying. I'm just
Just
saying.
like, if I talk about, if I'm the newcomer who's being a comedian and being an author, I got Jerome messed up. What you talking about?
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
If I come
Nobody-
talking about etiquette, and I'm the new person on the scene, I got Talisha messed up. Okay.
All the
If I
way.
talk about getting sales and with gyms and things like that, I got Monica messed up all the way. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
You heard
All
it.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You got me.
Okay.
You coming into my area. Like this is so not only it matters the most to me because it's where my confidence lies. And you're tapping into and interfering with my confidence. Therefore, I'm extremely protective of it because that's the area I'm most threatened in.
Territorial. Yeah,
Exactly.
me and my sister Grace, we got a saying. We have a motivational song, and the song the song says, okay, this is how me and Grace, this is our favorite song. But the song start off saying, after I slapped him, then I told him. so that's how I feel that you feel like. Is why I brought that up. It's like after I slapped him, then I told him that I'm the best seller around here when you start speaking, Miss Mitchell. I just wanted to point that out to you. But hey, ain't nothing but like a friendly, when I first stepped in that church house and made my first phone call, I remember I was young pup. I was wet behind the ears, and I messed around, made that phone call and got that sale. I seen y'all faces. I remember y'all faces. Yes, yeah.
Because you wasn't supposed to do that.
Look at
you
him.
were supposed to walk in there on
He
your
didn't even
first
know what
sale.
to say. He didn't even know what to say.
You wasn't supposed to do that. Me and Grace was the sellers. We was
For
the
years.
ones bringing in it was
right.
us. And then here you come out of nowhere and go make a sell on the first call. You know how many calls it took us to get to our first
and a male. You know, let a male come in here and do that to y'all.
And it's us,
y'all.
the sisters that can hold. Man, look. But that taps into somebody's confidence. It's like we have that confidence. Like it's us. We the ride or dies. We here. We busting our butts on these phone calls. We getting the sales, and then here you come. It taps into that confidence level because we up here.
Yeah.
But then somebody else comes in, you tap into that confidence, and now there's a threat. Like, hold on, hold what you got. You doing the most right now. But at the same time, because we also have the awareness of, man, look, we all one up in here. If he make a sale, we all make a sale. Let's get this done. But he still got me messed up if he gonna make more sales than me in a day. And then it becomes a healthy competition.
That's why you went to high school students. You start cheating. Talk to them high school boys. I had to throw that in there. I'm sorry. I had to throw that in there. Sweet talking them. Sweet talk to Sam. She go in that little office by herself and it's a wrap, huh? It's over with. We don't get to hear nothing. At least I get to hear Grace and steal some of her stuff.
You the one with the woo. Okay, so what we mean by woo is when we took our strengths test, woo is actually a strength. And his number one strength is woo. So we always
I didn't like it at first. I didn't like the word. I didn't want to be a wooer because it just didn't sound right to me until they explained it to me. I don't woo people. I tell them the truth. I don't know about the woo woo. Woo woo.
You know, so to me, that right there is it's based on your level of awareness. Based on your level of awareness, you really have to understand what that is, you know. Yeah. But you know what? I would like Mr. Ronnie Rome, if you could unmute your mic and share with us what you feel about this particular area of the book.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I don't have a book, but I've been listening. I want you to know that.
Come on,
and
sir.
And the thing that comes to my mind is is that I get the sensitivity about that which is dear to you, the competition. I get all of that. But what went through my head was, if you are just as competitive, or if you're just as good for whatever reason, why am I making room inside me for you when I know I'm the man? Hello? Making room? Oh, no. You got me all the way twisted. Because just because you invited me to the fight or to the argument or to the contest, don't mean I got to come. Besides, I got to go make me some money messing with you. Hello? So that's okay. That's okay. That's okay to me. Like, why I gotta make room for you? No. I know I'm good. You good too, but I ain't paying you no mind because you ain't putting no money in my pocket. That phone call put money in my pocket.
Come on. Come on.
So that's what was going through my head as I was listening to you. But I love but Deanna, God bless Grace, God bless Reggie. Girl, when you did this right here all the way, I said, no, she didn't. No, she didn't. Just in case they wasn't paying attention or they was deaf. They got that. I loved it.
All the way around, huh? All the way around. Yeah, did a little head like this and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, integrity. You know, I'm still working on me. You know, I ain't 100% whole.
Yeah.
I still got some. You know, sometimes you got me all the way.
Yeah.
You know, I'm ready to scorch the earth. But sometimes I'll be like, you know, sometimes you're wrong. I'll be like, he was like, you know what? I know I got this. I ain't even worried about you. So go on over there, way over there. And I'm going to chill over here and do what I got to do. But sometimes you do got me all the way messed up. All the way. Like, and moment of transparency. Grace had to calm me down this morning. Because somebody had me all the way. And I felt threatened. But Grace was like, D, don't even give it energy. I was like, you sure right, Grace. But I'm about ready to give every piece of my mind on this day, at this time,
hands,
this morning.
knuckles, and everything. My mind, fingertips, nails, and knuckles.
Everything. You was about to catch it all. You was gonna catch all. But you know what? Grace reminded me, D.
Integrity.
There's no reason for you to even feel threatened about that. Just chill out. You don't need to feel threatened about it. You good. You and what I did do indirectly is use it as motivation. If this person ain't ever gonna be able to say nothing else again. So I'm gonna pass it back on over to you, Reverend Reginald.
All right, so we're gonna stay in the same little arena, in the same little chapter before I go to because I got one chapter I really want to touch. But I gotta wait. I gotta say that that's the main point. But okay, now it also talked about competition between companies. So, but they're using an example with Duke and North Carolina. Well, I happen to be a sports fan, and I happen to love watching Duke versus North Carolina basketball, and they're so close to each other. One year, one won a championship. The next year, the one won a championship, and then they go back and forth. Some win, some, and what it does, it just bring out the best in you. Period. So, they compared that to between companies. So I put, competition between companies. How do you feel about it? And I use comparison Duke versus North Carolina and how competition motivates you. So how does that, like, how about another business like ATS? How does that motivate you? I like, somebody that's, well, better yet, whatever you are strong in, if you're the life coach, if you're the motivator, if you're the author, whoever you are right now on this phone call, what motivates you about somebody else that's doing the same thing about you? How did that motivate you to be better than them, even though y'all in the same area?
That's a good question, brother.
Yes, it is.
I'm gonna beat your brakes in. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. I'm gonna beat your
Good
brakes in.
question.
Oh, I'm gonna beat your brakes in. You're not gonna beat me. You're not gonna beat me. Ask Antonio. He done played that game for 95 years. 95 years. He had to look. First he had to beat me upside my head, right? Now, when he beat me upside my head, he drove me to the hospital and they said I had diabetes. He beat me so bad. After I recruit and gained all my blood sugar back and put it back in order, I went on a winning spree that was just nonstop because the only thing I remembered was his facial expression. You see how I broke that down? Facial expression. That face he had, he didn't look, this what really killed me. He didn't say nothing. He didn't rub nothing in my face. He had a cheerleader that really motivated me too. But that's past the point. She was really the reason why I beat his head. Anyway, but when I looked at him, he had that I beat the brakes off you look. You understand what I'm saying?
He said he had to beat you upside your head.
But no, I'm talking about that look. Y'all don't understand that look because I seen him on my. You know, when you losing, you can't look at the person that's beating. Come on, man. You cannot look at the person that's beating you. How can you? They are beating you at what you are good at or great at, and they beat you at your own game. So that motivates you to, I gotta go practice. I had to go buy me an Xbox. I had to go buy an Xbox and go play at home. And when I got real good, that's when I came at the house. You gonna catch this 90-degree angle. And he caught that 90-degree angle. And ever since I beat him, I won't play him again until the guards tell me that it's time to beat his brakes in again. So that's the example I wanted to give. And I wanted to hear from somebody else's perspective. I want to hear from somebody else's angle. How does that motivate you when the other person is just as good as you at what you do? Go ahead on, Jerome.
Uh-oh.
When you tell the story of Antonio, it reminded me of a very unique, a very distant situation that I was in when I was in the military. I went to Korea, hardship tour, family back in the States, you're there by yourself. So you got a lot of free time. And you know, when you got free time, if you're not constructive with it, you get in trouble, okay? So you don't want to do that. So one of the young men that worked for me would go over to the gym and play racquetball. I'd never played racquetball before. So I said, okay, let's go over and play racquetball. So he taught me the fundamentals. He taught me how to play. We go over there like 6 days out of the week. And every day I went to the gym, he spanked it. And not only did he spank it, he coming to work the next day and tell everybody that works for me how he spanked it, okay? And you better know he loved every minute of that. And they be like, sorry. I said, yep, he sure did. Yeah, he sure did. Yes, he sure did. Then in about maybe 4 months, so it took me about 3 months to get it together. Then at about 4 months, we come in the next day after playing, he ain't got nothing to say. And the people notice, like, wait a minute, every day, he been coming in here talking about how he been spanking that behind. But he ain't say nothing today. So then somebody said something to me like, hey, Son Red, did y'all go to the gym yesterday? Oh, absolutely. Y'all did? Absolutely. Well, how did it turn out? Ask him. He got all the mouth. And he mumbled, he beat me. Now, I only beat him once at that time, but I beat him. And I kept my mouth closed so I could focus on G. on playing and being competitive because I like winning too. And when I spanked that booty, I took all that internal satisfaction and I enjoyed it. And then when he came in the next day and didn't open his mouth and say that I whooped him, I said, ooh, no, he didn't. He got me all the way up. And I sat there and politely did like this. Now, here's the feast of the resistance. Eventually, I got better, back and forth. He could beat me, I could beat him. And just before I left, I could beat him a little more than he could beat me, but he could still beat me. He went to Fort Riley, Kansas. About 4 months later, 5 months later, I'm visiting a friend at Fort Riley, Kansas, who knew him because we were together in Korea. And I say, isn't Gomez here? He said, yeah. I said, give him a call. He called me up. I said, you gonna meet me at the gym, Gomez? He said, yeah. We went to the gym. We played 5 games. He didn't stand a chance. I tore that booty all up. And I loved every minute of it. Because I don't want to talk about it. I want to be about it. Show you right. So that competition, I'm going to talk smack, but it motivates me, especially if I know I'm good. So thank you, Reggie, because I just remembered that story. I tell you. Yeah, and it was humbling. It was very humbling as his leader to get whooped every day and him coming in bad mouthing.
That's
and
right.
Me out. Yeah.
That's right. As the leader, he was the head. That's right. He didn't want to look at another controller. He didn't want to touch his remote control.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel it. That's right. Anybody else have anything to share along with that before we carry on, mosey on, as they used to say back in the day? Just go on and mosey on over there. We're going to mosey on over there. Anybody else? All right. Well, let's just keep moving in. Well, we're going to skip to chapter 11, page 263. We're going to do a little skipping. I used to skip in my day, not too far. So I was too big to get caught skipping. I ain't talking about skipping school. 263. Now, put my glasses back on to read. Here we go. All right, now, 263. How important is it to take great care in how we make our last move? Are you done with the project when you have completed it, or is there any more work to be done? When you complete a project, is it complete? In the book, it described the situation as far as, I guess what you call them people who talk for somebody? I can't think of that word, but I know that he was talking somebody out of something, and he was a negotiator. That's what it was. Don't correct me, Miss Sanders. I know what I was talking about. Negotiator, right? And he was negotiating, but he did this job one time, and another situation had came, and they called him again to do it, and he had to do it the same way he did it the first time, because he said the reason why he did it that way the first time is because his job was not done. What he meant was, what he promised the guy that was in trouble, what he was going to do was let him talk to the reporters. But the police and everybody, they wanted to come take him in. They wanted to come bring him in, and they wanted to arrest him. They wanted to get it over with. It was taking too long, and they wanted to get over with. But old boy said, no, I promised this guy this, and I have to do this. And when he done it, the guy finally gave up after 7 hours of long standing off and demanding what he wanted, right? But the man didn't do nothing but he went to a mental institution and he got, fixed up or whatnot. So it was another situation, and they called the same guy in. And the reason why they called the same guy in, because his job was not done. Because they know how such of a well job he's done over there, how he could do in the same situation. And he did the same protocol the same way and got the same results for the next person. So by that being said, is when you finish a job, that doesn't mean that your job is done. and you shouldn't be getting complacent or comfortable, because you have to remember what you did to get to where you was at. You had to remember what you did to get to where you was at, because it was a process. You had to go through 7 hours of negotiating and talking somebody down off a skyscraper and hurting themselves. You had to go through all that, and you have to remember that, because you can't just say, all right, I've done my job, that's it, and then another situation come up and you forgot how you did it, or you get cocky like we do in a business, or get complacent and then go in there with our head and our chest up and mess up the whole situation because we think we got it. So that's what I got out of that in that chapter 11 about that story, period, was just that. Your job is not done just because you finish your task. You still have to go back and look at it, because there's some points that you can keep in your repertoire, you can keep inscripted in you, and therefore you can use it again, because it was successful over here and it will be successful over there, because it can be used. It's always going to be a time when you got to use it again. There's always going to be a time where it's needed. And just because you finished it over there doesn't mean that it's finished, period. So anybody have something similar like that? I do. But I'm waiting for somebody else to. I think I can right now. But yeah, I'll wait for somebody else. And if not, I'll just go ahead and jump right into it. You can tell I missed y'all.
We missed you too, Reverend Reginald. We missed you too. What I learned from this was, regardless of if you think this person, regardless of if you think you're ever going to see someone again or not, still treat them how you would treat them if you were going to see him the second time or the third time or the fourth time. Because him being a negotiator, in situations like that, you never expect to have a second time customer. You never, and they said that it's like you never expected in his line of work as a negotiator, you never expect a second time customer. But the way the situation played out, it ended up being the same person who asked for him because of how it ended the first time. And what they were saying in this chapter was, people remember how things ended, not how they actually went. You know, it's the same thing for pregnancy. It's the same thing for surgery. It's the same thing for anything. You remember the positive ending. So for somebody who had a horrible pregnancy, if they had a smooth delivery, they don't remember all that extra stuff. But if they had a horrible delivery, oh, they're gonna remember all of that. And there's some people who, because of that, they're like, I don't want any more children. You have some people who have gone through surgeries and they've had wonderful turnouts, and they're like, oh yeah, my surgery was great. But if they had that same surgery over and there was more pain following it, they would never want to have it again. Just like having a tooth pulled. If you had a tooth pulled and you're like, oh man, that was nothing, and they're like, oh, we're gonna have to pull another tooth. You're like, oh yeah, go ahead, come on, let's do this. Because that first time you don't remember, you just remember being high, waking up, and you was good. But if you had your tooth pulled and the Novocaine wore off before the painkillers kicked in, you're going to remember that. You're going to remember the pain, and if the doctor ever tells you, man, okay, we're gonna have to pull another tooth, you be like, man, look, I'll work it out.
I can relate to that. I definitely can relate to that. I had to get a tooth pulled in this resort I was staying at on 5700 in Galveston, called the Galveston County Hotel, and the dentist name was Dr. Yankum, and I think he has that name for a reason, because Dr. Yankum, he didn't give you nothing. He just took the thing and just ripped it out your mouth, and then they gave me a Tylenol 100. And a Tylenol 100, I don't even think they make them. But what is a Tylenol 100? I was in there crying. You know what? I don't want no more teeth pulled out. I don't care who pull it out. Ain't nobody touching my teeth. I'll pull them out myself. I ain't going through that. That's what that book was talking about they call it out. Well, I can't say that word. That's why I didn't want to say that word, because I knew I was going to tell that word up. Y'all know what word I'm talking about. Colonoscopy.
Colonoscopy.
Yeah. That's why you ain't saying neither. You ain't slick.
Colonoscopy.
Yeah, you said it now. You said it now. Yeah, I should have let you say it first. But that's exactly what he was talking about in that chapter. How to try to make it not so painful. So just in case you have to do it again. But pain make you
Exactly.
remember stuff. Y'all supposed to shout. Oh, this ain't. I forgot this. I forgot this. It's not Friday. Y'all supposed to shout. This ain't Friday. This ain't Saturday. But yeah, pain makes you remember stuff. Pain makes you learn. And that's why I think I like pain so much. That's why I really
I have a
like
comment
pain. Yeah, go right ahead.
along those same lines, and we're in the sales business, and you guys definitely make calls for sales. What I thought about along this line is that when you're good, and when you make the sale and you do well, or people put you at that level because you do well, the thing you can't afford as a salesman, or to me to be a good salesman, is to take your confidence or to take your ability for granted. Meaning that you get someone to agree and they sign up and say, yes, give that to me. And then you go for the upsell, or you go back to sell them another product. And then you take for granted, based on how you felt before, that you got this. I got this. They're going to buy from me again. And what I mean by that is you're not checking to say, when I talked to them the last time, was there something, even though they bought from me, that I missed? Or even though they bought from me, I could have did that better. And now that I'm getting a second chance, I'm going to make sure I don't make that mistake again. Or I'm going to confer to see if things are still in the same atmosphere that they were when we last talked, to make sure that I can go back where we were before, versus taking for granted that I'm going to get this sale because I got it the first time. So that's what was going through my head when you talked about that.
Oh, right. Thank you, Mr. Romy Wrong. Thank you very much, Reverend Reginald.
Yeah, that sounds about familiar too. As far as when you make the sales, you get that in your head that you can absolutely sell water to a drowning man, but at the same time, uh, you just you got to remember what got you to where you was at. And, just remember what got you there. Remember the pain. Remember the good times, the bad times, and take that with you. And at times it's good to be competitive, and sometimes it's not good to be competitive. Sometimes you got to sit and it's not losing, but you just got to sit. If you're very competitive like I am, because I don't want to lose to checkers to my mama. So I mean, that's just me. I don't care. We playing tic tac toe, SOS, mama. You can't beat me. I know you. You know, I know you burst me out, but you got to understand this. I'm going to beat you. Okay, and that's just how it is. Sometimes you gotta let a mama make it. So that's what I'm trying to learn today, especially when we play Connect for the next time. I'm gonna let her win. I just want to share that with everybody.
We're going to hold you to that.
Thank you. I'm gonna let her make it.
He said that just in case he loses.
Well, I'm gonna let her win. I just told you I'm gonna let her win. So that way y'all know what happened. Like, oh, he let her win. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
And that, but in that same, was it that chapter? I'm trying to remember what chapter it was. They were talking about yes, in that same chapter, Reverend Reginald.
11.
Be careful when you smile. I did not understand when I first went until I read the chapter, until I read the section. I was like, oh, because you can be happy, but if you don't watch how you smile, you'll make the other person think that they got cheated out of a good deal, or that you got a better deal than they did. I did not know that. So y'all know me. I'm gonna close the sale. I was like, ooh, yeah, I got it. Not because I'm getting a better deal than you, but I closed the sale. And you don't know how hard, you don't know how many phone calls it took me to get to this close. But what that taught me was when you express satisfaction in the way it clearly says on page 266. It's the 1, 2, 3. It's the third paragraph and it's the last sentence. It says you can express satisfaction that a deal has been reached, but be sure not to look so happy that the other side believes that you took them for a ride. I didn't catch that until I started reading further along, and I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense, because Jerome, me and you were talking. We're working out a deal. You got a great deal. I closed the sale. We go to shake hands, and you see this huge grin on my face. See? You see that facial expression? I'm excited I got the sale, but I'm a little too happy. So now you sitting here, so, oh, okay, why you smiling like that? What's really going on?
You show too many teeth. You can only show 4 teeth. If you show more than 4 teeth, like if it's 5 teeth, oh, you got over on me. Yeah, because you know how some people don't, for real. Some people think like that, man. Hey, her eyebrows was too high. No, for real. People got some, you know what I'm saying? So that's good. I'm glad you read that. I'm glad because it can come off the wrong way. You go up to the guy, I appreciate you. Well, wait a minute. You gave me too much love.
Can.
Yeah.
They even used a good example in here for George Bush.
Yeah, they did.
So
they showed, I underlined that too.
Because it says on page 267, it says, for Americans, after decades of conflict with few clear victories, here at last was something to cheer. They were talking about the Cold War. They were talking about the Cold War and the Berlin Wall. And they were saying how, it says, so how did the American president, George H.W. Bush, react to this news? So remarkably, a flat, I'm very pleased. That he had to defend his reaction later by explaining, I'm not an emotional kind of guy, but there may have been much more to it than that. As his Secretary of State, James Baker, recalled, Bush refused to gloat. Bush knew that he still needed to work with Soviet leaders, and that gloating would have made future deals more difficult. So not only would you offend the other person, but if you plan on doing more, if I gloated, if I sat here like, yeah, Jerome signed the contract, yeah, in his face, or to somebody else who's close to him, and they go back and tell him, I pretty much just shut down any further type of business dealings with Jerome because I gloated so much. When I could have just simply been like, thank you, Mr. Red. It's very nice doing business with you. Simple as that. And then behind closed doors, when I get home, I jump in my bed and be like, oh yeah. Well, can't nobody hear me.
Unless you say, oh my God, I am like so happy for you. You have no idea. I know you made the right choice and I'm happy for you.
Thank you, Miss Carol. That is another way to approach it. Show the other person just how excited you are for them. But you have to be careful. And because of who I am, that really rung a bell with me, because I'll be quick to be like, oh, I'm so excited. Yay. So you get over it. Like what I show in excitement, because I'm excited that I closed the seller, I'm excited for you. If I don't express that, like Miss Carol just said, if I don't express it appropriately, I could potentially lose future business with you.
But you can actually get away with that. You can actually get away with the little clap and a little dance move. Let's take me for an instance. I can't get away with that. I can't do that. They gonna think that I done cheated them out of every dime that they deposited. I bet not ever after say I do this right here. It's a wrap. They gonna want their money back. They gonna want their money back right now. And I definitely bet not do this here or none of that there. They gonna report me to somebody. So I have to be, you know what I'm saying? It's all like I say, your teeth, you can only show 4 teeth. Remember, put this on the little chat. 4 teeth. You can only show 4 teeth when you make a sale. You show 5, they're gonna want their money back. If you over 6'4" and you do any move or gesture with your hands and happiness, they're not this because you gotta be 6'6". You gotta do it big. You gotta be like you know what I'm saying? You gotta hey, appreciate what you know what I'm saying? You gotta be, soft spoken because you're big. You can't show too much excitement when you do that. Too much excitement. You can't do that at all.
No, you can't. But then even then, Reginald, I have to be careful because I won't be taken seriously ever again. Whereas I may be able to get away with that, someone will look at me and be like, "Oh my goodness, she's such a child. I will never do business with her again." I already sound like I'm 12. So if I'm sitting across from you and I'm like, "Oh yay, okay, come on, let's do this." You're like, "What the? Is she serious right now?" Like, we went from having an adult conversation to I'm sitting across from a kid, like, "Oh my goodness." So I have learned that in certain environments, I have to tone it down. Like, I can't go in there, "Oh yay," no, I can't do that. There's some environments I literally have to go in there. It's like, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. And do just a small smile, like you said, 14, just a small smile. It's great doing business with you. Thank you so much. And then when I leave,
that was it right there. That's what I got to do. It's nice doing business with you. Thank you. That's what I have to do right there.
And then they say, "Okay, come on, let's go have drinks." Okay, I will have a simple something small because I got the hard stuff to celebrate with in my room. Yeah. We ain't gonna do this right now, but out of politeness, because I don't want to offend you either. Because I want after this entire process has completed, you have a very positive, memorable experience of this. Because if I come to you again to discuss business with you again, all you're gonna remember is, "Oh yeah, she went and had drinks with us and we had a meal. We had a great time." That's what I want you to remember. Mm-hmm. I don't want you to remember the 12-year-old sitting across from you doing like this.
That's not how I want you to remember me. I sure didn't like the way he put their clap like that. I'm not sure about what I just did.
How many of you can go back and remember a time where you responded a certain way, and when you went back to that person, they responded to you a certain way? You were sitting here like, "But I thought we had a great time," or "I thought we had a great business conversation." How many of you can remember those moments? Because I'm putting a few together in my head now, and I'm like, "Oh crap." So, how many of you, and how do you think going forward? How do you think going forward it would actually change how you communicate with someone?
Especially with follow-ups. Because if you don't follow up, then that's really because all that excitement and all that extra work, all that hard work and all that, I'm talking about you gave it all and you don't follow up with them. You don't check in on them. You don't talk to them. And then, they lost. They just feel like they lost. Not just, sometimes it ain't even about the money because you don't even know, you don't know what type of friendship or ship you have entered with that person, your customer. You get what I'm saying? That person could not have nobody in their life at that particular time. And you conversate with them so well, you talk to them so well that they, in their mind that hey man, that's my friend. And you did not check on your strong friend. You did not check on, that makes them feel, makes them feel some type of way. It really does. It messes with their psyche. I just thought about that. Look at everybody thinking too. Look all those thoughts.
If you treat all of your customers, no matter who they are, how you feel about them emotionally at that time, if you treat them all like they are your best friend, they're going to feel that energy, and it's going to take it to the next level. So as you're in it, it's just like you got to just resonate there, and just instead of thinking up here, well, I don't like the way she said that. I don't like the way he turned his head. I don't like this. Instead of doing that, just make believe that, you know what? That's my best friend. He got quirks, he got, whatever, but that's still my best friend. And if you come across in your mind, just for that time that you're dealing with them, the energy is going to be a lot different when you're responding back and forth and you're corresponding with them.
I'm so very happy you said that, Miss Carol. Excuse me. Because it brings two things. With what you just said, I want each and every one of you to think, how can you scale that? That's really easy when you have 10 customers, but what if you have 100 customers? What if you have 1,000 customers? How can you scale that for them? But then it also brings me to a book that I was reading, and I'm trying to remember which one was it, if it was The Untethered Soul, which one was it? Where they were talking about, so when you feel a certain way about somebody, that little voice that's always in your head, make that voice a person that's sitting right next to you. Would you really want to be the friend of the person in your head? So think about how you make others feel. So that very same thing Miss Carol just said, instead of sitting there and saying, I can't believe they did that. I can't believe they said that. Like how Grace had to tell me this morning, D, don't get that energy. Because honest to God truth, if I would have taken the person in my head and sat them next to me, and everything that person in my head was saying was sitting next to me and saying, I would have told them, can you please just shut up and leave me alone? Like I would have honestly said that. But because it was in my head, I didn't even think to do that. But when you make the person in your head, the conversations that you have with yourself in the head, the voice that's not yours coming out of your mouth, but the one in your head, make that voice an actual person. And think about, if half the stuff that came out of your head came out of their mouth, would you really be friends with them? And that'll help you with how you view other people. That'll help you with what Miss Carol just said, because you would look at them a lot differently if you really looked at the person that was in your head having that conversation.
Yana, can I add to that?
Please, go ahead.
Majority of the time when people, whatever they're thinking, their face expression shows it as well. So sometimes your face expression is louder than your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I'm saying that is because it can be vice versa. For example, if you're in an interview and the interviewer tells you, hey, so tell me a little bit about yourself. And so you get to selling yourself. You get to telling them a little bit about yourself. And then at the end, they have nothing to say. They're just looking, or they're looking down. They never look at you in the face. You could tell that there's something wrong. Automatically, the communication is broken. The engagement is off, and you just ready to get out the interview. You could tell right now the energy is not right. So vice versa, the person that is having the interview may say, I don't want to work for that company. Their energy is not right. So it can go both ways. That's all I want to share.
No, thank you. Thank you very much, because that brings us right back to the conversation in the book. Just as you can smile at the wrong time, watch some facial expressions. Because I know, and it took me a while. Because sometimes Grace she'll text me, she'll be like, D, you all right? Because we'll be on a training and my face will be looking crappy. And I'll be like, every time she texts me, I'll be like, okay, you got to fix your facial expression. Because it could have been something that happened early in the day. I could be multitasking when I ain't supposed to, and I'm zoned into what I'm working on, and it looked like I'm upset or something. It could be a lot of things. Grace can tell me when I'm sleepy. I be thinking, sometimes I think I'm doing a great job. I'm sitting up here like, and Grace will text me, D, did you sleep good? And I'll be like, dang, great. And that's like, when y'all see me reach for my coffee and drink it, I either got a text message or I felt myself looking sleepy or I saw myself in the camera. Like, oh, I'm looking like, let me add some caffeine in my system real quick. But the facial expressions are just like those smiles. If I really don't want to close a deal with you, but I know I have to close this deal or my company's gonna cut me, and I'm like, it was a pleasure doing business with you. All that in itself is like, no. Go ahead, Mr. Ramiro.
Do that face one more time. Do that face one more time. One more time. No.
It was a pleasure doing business with you.
But
Fake.
It was. It was, man. That was horrible.
it started with what Ms. Carol said, but it flowed through what Talisha and Deanna said. Being we're in the sales business, what hit me was, Antonio's talking about us, starting about our business with that 1 to 1,000 customers, but we're going to keep it going to 5,000 and so forth. And then it hit me, as your business grows and as you grow with your business, you can't remember everybody. So if you treat everybody with the same respect that you want to be treated with, and you're actively listening, as Ms. Carl was saying, that's what's inside of you is going to come through, and your customer is going to recognize that and feel like they're special and feel like they're important, and then you don't have to worry about that. But if you're just like, I'm getting a sale, I'm getting a sale, I'm getting a sale, then they become a number or they become an objective versus becoming someone that you care about. So if you're treating people the way you want to be treated, or you're treating them like they're special, that's what's going to make the difference, because you can't remember everybody, especially as you grow and especially as you expand. So we need to come up with a game plan about how we're going to make sure that those customers are memorable, or that when we leave them, they feel memorable. Because I think Antonio said this before, it's not what you do, it's how you make people feel. That's what they remember the most. How did you make them feel when they were done? So important, so important. So just wanted to share that.
No, so you just summed up the entire chapter.
Oh, my
You
bad.
just summed
know
it.
what?
No, you did great.
And
Go ahead.
what you were saying is right. And not only that, but if you think about the sale, Jerome, I'm talking to you. If you think about the sale as though I'm helping another person, I'm getting paid for it, but I helped another person, then it changes the whole thing around.
Stop stealing my sayings, my thoughts. You're stealing my thoughts and my saying, and you publicizing it. Because for real, I don't even add money in the equation. For one, I like talking, and I like talking to people I ain't never seen before, and I love making facial, like, even if it's on a phone call, I still see your facial expression, because I'm gonna make you exercise your facial muscles, because I'm going to get inside, and you're going to get out of whatever mood that you in, and you're gonna get in the same mood that I'm in. I'm gonna strong arm you into the same mood. I don't care what you got going on in your life. I'm strong arming you into this mood, because for one, it was purposely designed for me to call you anyway. Now, that's another way to look at it. It was purposely designed for me to call you. Forget this is on the cool. This is how I end up doing the first sale or whatever, because I didn't even have to script or nothing. This is purposely designed for me to call you, because whatever you're gonna tell me, I'm gonna listen to what you said, but at the same time, whatever energy you give off, I'm gonna change that energy off top. And that's what they notice about me anyway. Oh, so you just gonna make me laugh. Yeah, because you're supposed to. Yeah, you just gonna, yes, because there's no need to, whatever you got going on over there, wherever it is over there, I can hear in the background, you got a lot of stuff going on. But you know what? I'm here to just make sure that, hey, man, you still got enough time in the day to make sure you can laugh, make sure that you can have fun, and make sure you can smile through whatever it is that you're going on. Because if you keep going like that, if you keep on, you're gonna just you're gonna disappear in that darkness, and you can't. And they were like, "Whoa, who are you? Hey, you prayed last night, right? You know what I'm saying? You prayed last night, right? Well, I'm the one that's making sure that you getting answered from your prayers. I'm just the confirmation. That's all I am. Who are you? Well, call me back tomorrow. Well, what's your name, Reginald? You make sure I'm gonna call you back every day, ma'am. How about that? Well, that's what I want to see. That's how I go. That's exactly how it is. I just use what I know I have, and if I'm gonna be big, I'm gonna be big, and you're gonna laugh big. That's it. I just want to, like, I get on these phone calls, I jump on in, I make sure, look, man, we're gonna have a good time. I don't know what happened. It was too hot outside. It was too windy outside. I don't know what's going on. I don't care. We're gonna have fun today. And y'all better do the same thing to me when I get on this phone and look like I lost a puppy. You better make me laugh. Like, all you gotta do is say one word, and I'm gonna laugh anyway, because I'm a goofball as it is anyway. I'm gonna laugh unless somebody try to mess with my intelligence. That's a different story. My sister seen when somebody messed with my intelligence, and Antonio had to take my phone and make sure I don't text what I was getting ready to text. He did that several times for me. Took my phone. You can't say that, Reggie. Why I can't say that, man? It's real. This is 100. This is the truth right here. You can't do that. Okay? You have to. That's why he say, you know what? You're gonna do the integrity leadership class. All right, man. Yeah, it hit me upside my head right there. But yeah, man, this is some good stuff from this book. There's some good stuff from this book. I'm learning and having fun at the same time. I'm glad y'all are on the call doing the same thing as well. And y'all continue to do so. Y'all continue to do what you do. Like I had a friend of mine say, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. He used to just say that all the time. He used to just wake up and just say, keep doing. He said, I'm trying to imitate. Keep doing. You got to shake that head. Keep doing what you're doing. And then he just lighten up the room every time you say that. The next thing you know, he disappeared. But hey, y'all still here. Y'all ain't disappeared, huh? All right now. All right. Yes. Now I want to jump into a chapter. I want to jump to skipping over 7, but I want to go to 5. And we're talking about chapter 5, page 117. I'm not gonna put my glasses on. I know I look real intellectual and make it look like I made straight A's. I did, though, at one point. 117. Talking about how names can bond and bully. This was one of my favorite chapters. I had to hit the book. This is one of my favorite chapters in the book. I'm going to tell you why. Because I love giving people nicknames who I be around a lot. And I do it for a reason. And it's not to bully nobody, but it's all in humor and laughter and great fun, because your nickname is going to fit your personality. It's going to fit. They said George Bush used it. He had nicknames in the same chapter. As a matter of fact, it say on page, that's I think it was on the page I said, yep, 117. It said, for George Bush, nicknames were a tool for cooperation. When he bestowed one on a person, it brought him closer to them and cemented an important bond. The names we use can help us connect with our friends. They can be the glue that binds us together. Now, you already know there's the other side to that. Before we even get to the other side, I want to stick to this side, because this is the side of the light. I don't like using names to bully people or to talk down on somebody or anything like that. Now, we might crack a joke every now and then because we together. Y'all know how, look at what you call it, But hey, that's all but the names to bond each other. That's what the nicknames is for, the bond. And when you nickname your child or you nickname your friend, that's how you bond with your child. Like, you and your child know that if you hear, hey, TJ, that's the nickname I gave my son because his middle name started with a J. He know that, hey, man, that's one of my family members, because nobody else calls me TJ. You know what I mean? Nobody calls me TJ but my dad, right? And I know he's somewhere around here because I can't see him, but I can hear him say TJ. And that's a bond. That's a good bond. And it's the same thing if you in a group and you got to build a relationship. You can't just dry give somebody a name. You can't, because they might have bad experiences with names. They've probably been called all kinds of names. You can't just, but you've been around somebody long enough, and you can. There you go. There you go. There you go, Grace. I'm not gonna call you out, but you know your nickname. And you display it every time I come over and do Bible study. How you want me to move the sign because you can't reach it. My arm length is long enough. I can get it out there. She can't change the light bulbs. Anything like that. That's why she called me. But before we get to the other side of the names, how do y'all feel about the nicknames with bonding each other?
I know for me, I lived by a nickname. To this day, if I hear anybody say Didi, I already know what part of my life that came from. I see your facial expression, Jerome. My maiden name is Dedrick. My first name is Deanna. They both start with DEA, DEA. So and I got it in kindergarten, which was crazy. A good friend of mine in kindergarten, she couldn't say my name. She's like, "Can I just call you Didi?" And I was like, "Yeah." And from there, from kindergarten to my senior year in high school. So if I hear anybody call me Didi, I know where they came from, who they are, what area of my life it was, because past that, it was all Deanna. And that bonds me with my school age friends, because they're the only ones who call me that. So if I hear someone come up behind me and say Deanna Dedrick, I'm like, hold on, wait a minute, you know too much. Who are you? Like, because those that I associate with now know me as Deanna Mitchell. Or if I hear someone call out my whole name, that means my family. Like if I hear somebody say Deanna Marie, wait a minute. And that happened to me one time. That really happened to me. I was somewhere and I heard someone yell out, Deanna Marie Dedrick. And I was like, you know my whole government, my birth name. Who are you? How do you know me? And why you said it and turned around, it was a school friend. Because back in those days, you also told them, so they knew my whole name. Like Reginald was saying, if you hear somebody call your name a certain way, you already know. Just like if I hear Deanna Marie, I know, okay, I didn't do it this time. It wasn't my fault. What happened was, if I hear Deanna, I was like, oh crap, what did I forget to do? Like it.
Yeah. I think that's a Galveston thing too, because nobody in Galveston calls me Reginald, except for my family. My family will not call me Reggie. They refuse to call me Reggie. So when I hear Reginald, I know that's my people. I know that's my family. Now, my name in Galveston is Reggie Paul. They say the whole name, Reggie Paul. Hey, you know Reggie Paul? The Reggie Paul. They do the whole name. That's just like Didi. Like you hear Reggie Paul, you already knew what type of life you was living in and everything. Hey, what? That's Reggie Paul. Dog. That's the guy we want to hang with right there. Yeah. Reginald, yeah. You want Reginald. You don't want Reggie Paul. That's right. Hi, Didi.
Yeah, no. Didi had alter ego. We're going to keep both of them where they
at. Reggie Paul had them ideas, but I had them bite ideas. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right there in trouble.
Yeah, and like you said, with family, one side of my family calls me Deanna. The other side of my family calls me Deanna. So if I hear it said a certain way, I know which side of the family calling me from a distance. But nicknames do bond you. Grace. I call Grace Gracie May, and I tell people quick, can't nobody else call her that but me. That's my nickname for her. If I hear you saying it, we got a problem. And Grace
Say it one more time. Say it one more time.
Because
I'm not gonna say it. That's your word. I just want to hear it one more time.
I call her Gracie May. And she actually calls me D. Marie. And she calls me D. Marie. So if I hear someone in a different distance call me D. Marie, I know it's Grace. She's the only person who actually calls me D. Marie. She don't call me by my whole name. She called me D. Marie. So I know. She put it in text message, if it's in an email, a message online now, Facebook message. I don't care where it's coming from. It's D. Marie. That's our bond. D. Marie, Gracie May. You know, so names really do bond you, just like names with your children. You know, I call my son baby. He knows I'm talking to him, but at the same time, he knows I also understand he's becoming a big boy, because I also call him my big boy. You know, so names do bond you. Names do bond you. You know, so you have to be careful with that. You know, names bond you to a time. Names bond you to a time in your life. They bond you to people, but they also bond you in business. So that's why you also have to be careful with what your name means in business too.
Good point. Good point. Can't use Reggie Paul in the business.
Can't use Didi in business.
You can. Hey, this is Reggie Paul. You sure I made that sound professional? This is Reggie Paul. Calling on behalf of ATS. I gotta say it like that. You gotta say it something. Yeah, this is Reggie Paul calling from the ATS. How you doing today, man? Okay, that's fine. I'm not. Oh man. So let's get on the flip side, on the other side of that coin. Let's say in the next paragraph, say, but not everyone uses names to make friends. In fact, many names are tools that our foes use against us. As children, we are told that sticks and stones may break our bones, but words can never hurt us. But this isn't true. Words are often the preferred weapon of bullies, and they can hurt us a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I agree, but I don't agree. And I'm going to tell you why I don't agree. Because you only answer to what you are. So if somebody call you something and you answer it, you just gave them power to call you that. Like, if they call you that and you say something back, if you don't say the words, I just want to, I ain't trying to stuff. Words can't, you can, look, I done been called everything. I played sports. My coach called you everything. You understand what I'm saying? They called you everything. I'm sorry. They called you everything. So outside of that, I don't even know, call me something. It can't, even if they call, even the book even used the N word or whatever, you know what I'm saying? None of that stuff, I'm not because if I entertain that, then that's when I get wrapped up into all that. When I entertain it. Period. So you can keep them names over there, like, even if it's somebody that you know call your name, you're like, all right, man, they was just a little upset. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we didn't talk, I didn't probably cuss them out before or whatever, but at the same time, the words you can't get me with that. You can't get me to the word unless I just feed into the energy on that. You can't just call me something and I'm like, man, I'm not there at all. Well, why did I respond to it if I wasn't there? You ain't call me by my name. I'm going to answer if you call me by my name. If you can't call me by my name, I'm not going to answer you. And I believe if I don't answer you, that's going to piss you off even more than what you already are, if I don't answer you. But if I entertain you, that's what you wanted me to do in the first place. That's why you called me that name. I just had to let that out.
I'm Jerome. Oh my God. Reginald. Wrong person.
We do look alike. I just got a little bit more hair.
What was I gonna say?
Something about some names. You was gonna call me a name.
Yeah. Okay. So now I'm gonna call you. No, I was gonna say that I believe it's the level of maturity you are with that. to be comfortable with people
I was gonna say
saying
that.
certain
I was
things
gonna
to you
say
and it
that.
don't bother
Yeah.
you. For you, you've grown up with that, right? For example, for me, growing up hearing the N-word, being called the N-word every day, and then I go back around and we play that name. My brother called me little nigga, you know, like stuff like that, or we play around like that. But then when you go in a different culture or different area group and you say that, and somebody get ready to chop your throat off, you can't get mad because you're not realizing that what you said was offensive because you're so used to it.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to understand that certain people, certain words you say, they don't take it lightly. It may bring up some wounds for them. It may bring up hurt. It may bring up memories. You never know. So for me, like to say, you still can't call me a B. I don't care who you are, you just cannot call me that. Because I feel offended, you know? And you were right. It takes that maturity. Until I get to that level where I'm mature enough to say, okay, they ain't talking to me because that I'm sure not a B, right? Until you get to that level of maturity, it's going to always bother you. Is that, oh my gosh, what do you call that when something keeps bothering you? You're not healed in that area. And until you heal yourself and break down those layers, it's going to continue to bother you. So for me, when it comes to name calling, it's a hurtful spot. It's a hurtful spot. And no, it's not okay for you to call me no other name than my name. Because you're diminishing who I am. I've been called so much growing up. So if you call me anything else, I don't know who I am. If I start repetitionally hearing, you are Talisha, you are this, you are that, then that builds my confidence to know who I am. So if somebody do say something like you were mentioning, then since my level of confidence and maturity is up there, then I can handle whatever thing that anybody else throw my way. But if you constantly being treated that way since you were little, and that's all you hear, it's hard for you to, how can I say it? Altogether, just in a nutshell, you just gotta have maturity on that level to be able to take other people's name calling. Because some people won't even ask you, can I call you this? They just start calling you. And you be like, wait, what? No, I didn't say you can call me Lil Shorty. No, I didn't say you can call me TT. No, what you doing? You didn't even have my permission. Better learn how to say my name correctly. That's just it. That's all I want you to say. And my daughter tell you, and honestly, my daughter, she tells me, I have so many nicknames for her, Nat. Her middle name is Marie, but I call Maria, right? And one day she told me, she said, Mommy, I don't like when you call me Maria. Mommy, I don't like when you call me Maria. So I have to learn to back off and understand her emotions and realize that's not what she wants me to say. And I'm glad that she's only 7 years old and she can be able to voice her opinion to me, because then that means she can go in the world and do the same thing. But that's all I had to say.
Thank you. I know a lot of people that can't take that B word neither. Men and women. It's a code. It's a code. When people live by a code, they live by their code. You got to respect that code. That's another thing that I learned. You got to respect that code. When you're in that culture, when you're in that atmosphere, you got to respect that code. You got to understand where you're at. You got to understand your surroundings. That is part of that maturity, but that's also part of you paying attention to everything, because another group can say the same word you say to your another group will say the same thing that you'll call somebody else, or call you the same thing that you call that group. You can't get offensive or get mad at that person because you sit up there and call the other person that. So it's like you still got to respect your area or where you're at. And like I say, with that code, because again, man, people still live by code. That's real. That's not made up. It's a code that they live by. Hey, man, don't call me that. And when you call me, there's going to be consequences. And you'll know, because some people, they don't give you a chance to, hey, explain it to you. They just going to do what they're going to do to you. Because like you said, that's a wound. That's some type of wound. And you don't know that. And then, hey, man, you don't want to open them can of worms, period, So That's why I say I respect that. I have no choice but to respect that. Point blank, period. Because a lot of people, like my son, just like your daughter said, I gave my son a nickname, and he told me at that early age, "Hey man, I don't like that nickname. I don't like that nickname at all." So hey, we'll switch it up, but I'm still gonna remind you when you start acting up. If you keep on acting up, when I call you that, then that means you're acting up. You understand what I'm saying, son? And I ain't had no problems with him no more because I threatened him with that nickname. Hit him with that nickname, boy. You better get it right. But man, it is a code. These words will hurt an individual who's been hurt by words. And if you have grown in an area to where words don't mean nothing to you, because man, this is just a lot of stuff I learned about, especially English. Especially English. This don't even mean nothing. Like Hebrew and Greek is really, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what you really, those are really work. This is English stuff, man. You break down some of these. If you find out like the real word of some of this stuff, you'll be surprised. And it's one word I would like to share tonight. While we are, it's Negus, and it means kings. It means king. And we run around and say it and don't even know we call each other king. But in the dictionary, the other word that's put out there is saying that we slandering and we calling somebody else something negative when that's not even a real word, period. And so when you get education on it, you get knowledge on it. When you get knowledge on it, then that's when you know, hey man, some of these words, I can't miss me with all that. If that's the game that you want to play, you want a word play, then go on there and play that game. But I'm a little bit more ahead of you on that one, partner. You understand what I'm saying? I'm way 2 steps, and I'm glad. You know what? It took a lot of me doing the wrong thing to get to where I'm at. It took a lot of me calling people names when I shouldn't have called them the names for me to get there. I ain't just not call nobody name. I call you all kinds of names, especially when we're in that little moment. I'm gonna give you what you're looking for. You deserve that name because I'm trying to hurt you. That's all the reason why we're just trying to hurt you. That's why they say words hurt, especially when you're trying to use them as a hurtful situation. But again, that's all in the same chapter. It's in the book. We didn't drift off. It's in the book. It's the bad words, good friends. Still they say, hey. Matter of fact, I even put a star by. I say, so sometimes names help us bond with others. Look, this is my reading voice. So sometimes names help us bond with others, and other times we are bullied by them. To navigate our social world, we need to know when and how to use names. And by the same token, when others call us negative names or use slurs against us, we need to know how to react and how to defend ourselves. That was so beautifully read and understood. Look at the smiles on you guys' faces. It's just so powerful. Let me see that smile again. Put some of this on there. See these smiles again. Look, there you are. I knew I was going to get it. I knew I was going to get it. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. So how many chapters did we cover? Minister Mitchell? We covered 1, 5, 7, 11, 6, 4, 3.
We covered 1, 5, 11, and yeah, 1, 5, 7, 11. 1, 5, 7, 11.
And 3.
7, 11.
And 3. You
Reggie?
gotta add 3. Yes, ma'am.
So give some magic dust to Deanna for her unicorns and butterflies.
Her unicorns and butterflies. She can get
Yes.
some of that dust. Where she got the unicorn at? Where's the unicorn at?
That's a magic. It shows up for her.
Oh,
Yeah.
for her?
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted a unicorn. I think I can ride a unicorn. I think I'm a special, unique person. I think I deserve a unicorn.
You are a unicorn, Reggie.
I want the unicorn with the wings on it.
That's the only way they come.
Oh, okay. Some of them don't have wings. It's the male ones.
That's the only way they come, okay?
Do I need to get my daughter in here to explain to you what a unicorn look like?
Oh, man. Oh man. The unicorns that I saw my kids draw, they don't have wings on
Hush, they only come with wings and they
them.
have no names,
I'm
okay?
just telling y'all. I'm just telling y'all, man. My kids drew a unicorn and didn't have wings on. But they're going to school
Counterfeit,
this
of
year.
course. They counterfeit. They from China.
Oh. I'm gonna tell them that too. Yep, fake unicorn's daughter. But she's going to kindergarten this year, so maybe the wings will get added on.
I don't know, because you know how schools are. They may not teach her the appropriate way to draw a unicorn.
L.A. Morgan will.
Yes, you know what? L.A. Morgan will. L.A. Morgan will.
Talk, TT talk. That's all you got to remember.
That's our elementary alma mater.
Yeah.
Yeah, names. Oh, names can. Wow. Yeah. All right. So, Reverend Reginald, what's the next chapter?
Oh yeah. Why you at it? Just turn to page 166.
166.
166. 155.
While y'all turning the page, this just won't get off my mind, and I know he not physically on this call. But when did Antonio know how to rap? Y'all saw that video? TikTok
My
video?
boy been rapping since he was 4.
Yeah, he been doing that for a long time.
I was shocked.
Long time.
And I'm always on the call. Thank you very
The
much.
Holy Spirit. There goes the Holy Spirit. There's the Holy Spirit again.
There goes the unicorn. That's the unicorn talking.
It always pops up.
Yeah, he has been rapping for a very long time, Felicia. If you keep looking for him, you'll find some of his old albums.
He did
They
very
online.
well. I was shocked. I had to replay it again. Wait, is this Antonio?
Okay, well, while we're on 166, let me point out what I put. Let me read the paragraph and then put what I had wrote on it. It say, in the preceding chapter, we described trust as a cooperative tool of friends. But by trusting others, we also make ourselves vulnerable to deception and exploitation by the competitive intentions of our foes. In other words, deception sits at the intersection of competition and cooperation. Deceivers pretend to cooperate but compete instead. And then the one I put the little asterisk by, I say, why do we deceive? And how can we detect deception and prevent being exploited by our foes or even taken advantage of by our friends? That's a good one, especially in the workplace. especially in the workplace. Yeah, or outside of an environment, period. We also introduce a new approach to thinking about deception. Deception can be a cooperative tool, though we are taught that lying is unethical and harmful. We challenge this belief and explain why some lies actually help us build trust and cooperation and can even be considered ethical. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that right there. That's it.
Right there.
Yeah. I had to stop.
That's not entry level stuff right there.
No. That's. Let me read that again. We also introduce a new approach to thinking about deception. Deception can be a cooperative tool, though we are taught that lying is unethical and harmful. We challenge this belief and explain why some lies actually help us build trust and cooperation and can even be considered ethical. How is that?
I just want to wrap on that for like a minute. Because
you could take 2 minutes.
So most of my life I've had this policy, like honesty is the best policy, right? But a delusion that I've had is that I'm honest, right? Because there's things that like I think I'm being honest about, but I'm just being really thorough. I might be going like a little bit off track here, but like honesty and thoroughness are two completely different things, and they're not necessarily always useful and applicable in a situation, especially in a sale. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes less is more. But I think that there's so many situations where the honesty that it's like, how do I put this? We can believe that something that we're expressing is honest, and because we have an emotional connection to it, it's like we're the heralders of some kind of divine truth just because we got our feelings attached to it, without sort of like looking outside and recognizing that that's not a truth that other people resonate with. And in order for us to have a connection and build a connection with other people, that we need to get onto a part of a truth that they resonate with, that we can resonate on a truth with them, and sort of put like our truth and our need for honesty and self-disclosure or whatever, so we can feel like good people or whatever like that need is for us. You know what I'm saying? And like hone in on that other person's need. And when the book is talking about like deception, listen, I didn't even read the book. I'm like, when the book is talking about deception, I think that the English language is so limited, right? And in other languages, there's other words for things like this, and they're not so negatively charged. So I don't necessarily look at it now as deception. I look at it as you're just tuning into a higher frequency, right? You want to connect with a person like where you're going to be able to meet them. And I don't think I'm articulating this well, so let me just like clean it up. I think I'm just going to stop right there. Yeah.
All right, Miss Reese. You didn't have to stop. Okay, so Miss Reese, please feel free to continue. We are actually a group of people that, as you talk, we talk the same way. So we do so if you keep going, we can put it together. So please feel free to keep going. Like we're actively listening to you.
I appreciate it. Okay, like I'm putting this, because the thing is like, this is something that, it's like, how you have these different levels. That's my neighbor setting off fireworks.
Oh, wow.
Like every 365 days a year. It's just that kind of neighborhood. So, like what I value so deeply and truly, and what I think is sometimes like this gift that I'm giving to somebody else, or like some kind of like realization or recognition of something that I've had, that may not necessarily be a gift to them. And stepping outside yourself and being able to see that, right? And this goes back to like that on that other meeting, like the strong friends meeting. Like, don't give people what you think you need or what you're trying to give to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, give them what they need. So first, like, listen before they speak. Like, listen to them before they even start talking, so that like you can get the hit of where they're at and what they need, and then frame whatever it is that they need, right? That you need to like manufacture, create, or pull out from yourself or channel to them, and provide for them in a way that's accessible, in a way that is framed in a way that's relatable for them. And in order to do that, sometimes you have to step out of your sort of like your natural style and your natural gifts and like your sort of like whatever like skills you have in sort of providing or creating that thing for other people, and go, okay, like maybe everything that I have, all these resources that I have, including like what I believe is true and what I believe is my expression of honesty and authenticity, is like not how it's going to be received. And like I need to reframe that. So like when you look at it from that point of view, then it doesn't feel like deception and lies. It just feels like you're making a practical decision to like be relatable and to be accessible, and also like, you know what I'm saying, like to not be offensive too, because you can have some really good intentions, but like the road to hell is paved with good intentions. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna take a pause there.
All right. So Reverend Reginald reset quite a bit there, and I understood what she was saying. What she was saying, you know, sometimes you have to step back from yourself and think about somebody else, because your beliefs may not be somebody else's beliefs. So while it may seem like a lie, it's not you lying, it's you pausing, considering the other person, and then responding to what the other person is saying. And Reese, correct me if I'm wrong on that.
Yeah, that's about right.
So, go ahead, Reverend Reginald.
Oh no, that's my way of getting some understanding, especially when it comes to you having a conversation with somebody else, and when it has to come to lie. I mean, like lies to me, this is, if it's not fact. I mean, you can ask somebody a question, and we can go back to facial expressions. You ask somebody a question, and depending on who the person, come on now, because depending on the person, all right, you know Jethro is not going to give it to you all the way 100. You know Jethro ain't going to give it to you all the way 100, and everybody else around know Jethro don't give it 100. You don't want to find out why he don't do it? It's not none of your business, but you know you cannot, you know, you can't trust him with the information. Can't trust him with anything. So you won't even go. I mean, it's just me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I won't even go towards Jethro's way. I won't even go towards his direction. I won't. Because I know what I don't want that. I can go over there to Kim, and I know Kim gonna be professional about it. I know Kim gonna get it correct. I know she gonna get it right. So I can respect that. And I want to be around that energy anyway. If I want to be told a lie just because I just want to be entertained, then I go to where the entertainment is at. You know what I'm talking about? Because come on, man, it's entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's entertainment, man. Go ahead, Miss Carol. Go ahead.
So the question was, when is a lie ethical? Right? Or can be ethical? Right?
Yeah,
So,
when it can be ethical.
right. So if somebody got into an accident and they're lying on the floor and they're ready to go into shock, but they're not quite there. And they want to know what's going on. They want to know how bad they look. They want to know, you know, what did the doctor just say, or what did the EMT people just say? And you're holding their hand. You're not going to tell them bad news. You're going to tell them, well, you know what? Don't even worry about that. It's just like, just hang in there so we can get you to the hospital. You're going to be fine. That's what people say. Do you know if they're going to be fine? They look like they're getting ready to pass out and die or something like that, but you're not going to say, well, I think it's time for you to go. No, you're not going to say that.
No, you're not going to say that.
So, but you're going to say some kind of lie. It's a white lie, they call it, but you're going to say some kind of lie to get them through that time. And it's to help them through that period so that they don't go into shock or whatever.
You're going to tell them that they're going to be all right. And both of their legs is off.
Their legs is off. Who said anything about that? Now the legs came
I'm
off?
I'm just saying, if because we made this up. You made yours up, so I just wanted to add a little hot sauce. They legs cut off, and hey, you're gonna be all right, man. Now, because what I was saying, like what I was saying earlier.
I
Think
was
about
imagining that they were missing arms. Clearly, like there's 3 different truths going on right now.
Yeah, but it also depends. Then it depends on the person, though. It depends on the person, because what if the person make it through and get mad at you because you didn't tell them the truth? What if you dealing with that type of person? What if you dealing with that type of person?
There for you to make it through. My job right then was for you to make it through.
But you lied to me, Carol. But you lied to me.
I did, so that you can make it through because I love you that much. Yes, I did.
You love me so much that you lied, Carol.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I know we got that. You know that friend is out there, though, is what I'm saying. Because this is what I'm saying is this is knowing your atmosphere, knowing who you're around, and knowing personnel. Because apparently we talking about somebody that we're close to. Because if it was somebody that you weren't close to, of course you're gonna say you're gonna make it. You're gonna be all right. You understand what I'm saying? Because you're there, comfort and your support. Because you're there. Now we talking about if you got some history and some chemistry with this person. That's a different story. Why you ain't tell me my legs was off, Carol?
Okay, Reggie. I'm laying on the floor. I just got hit by a truck. You come by and like, oh my God, that's Miss Carol. You run over to me. One of my legs is up the block. The other one is back underneath me. And I ask you, Reggie, what does it look like? You think I'm gonna make it?
Your leg is over there. Your leg is over there. And your other leg is right here. But you here talking to me, Miss Carol. No, I'm y'all laughing. Y'all laughing. I'm serious. Why? Because look, I got to go home and live with that. You understand what I'm saying? I got to go home and live with it. I told that lady her leg was not down the street.
Reggie, stop. Stop, Reggie, stop.
You know what, Reggie? If my leg is down the street and you telling me it's down the street, you better get it.
I go see. Now that's what I'm talking about. Then I go get it. You want me to go get it?
Yes, please.
I don't know, man. Tell me the truth. Tell me the truth. Jerome, tell me the truth.
You need prayer, bro. Did you hear
Tell
that?
me the truth.
I told
all right,
you,
let's say
you need prayer. Now let me tell you the rest of it, okay? You gonna tell that woman her leg down the street and the other one underneath her. Yeah, you need prayer, okay? You remind me of Antonio.
Man.
He on the call, okay? You keeping it real 100,
hey,
okay?
But what I'm saying, no, but look though, what if I am that type of person to where, you know what, I cannot. All right, let me give you an example. At work, the other day, I clocked in, and my boss told me to clock out. Mm-hmm. And I'm getting unemployment. He say, just claim 0 for the week. Dude, you just made me lie. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, it's okay though. You get what I'm saying? And it's the same. So it's okay not to tell her. You know what I'm saying? Not it's okay. But what if I'm the person that's like, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with that. Like, I know what's gonna happen to me if I do this.
That's
Other
your
people
karma.
don't know what's gonna happen.
Yep, that's your karma.
If I was truthful,
that's cool.
If I was truthful, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know that I was truthful, then I'd be looking at some good karma. But if I lie, so what kind of karma I'm gonna look at?
Number one, Reggie, if she doesn't make it, you ain't got to worry about it because she gone. Okay. Number two.
Well, I'm glad she's talking to me while her leg down the street for once.
Number two, if you care about her and you do lie to her and she makes it, then guess what? You can handle the weight because it goes with the situation. So the part of the equation to me that's missing, okay, and I was thinking about this the whole time we've been talking about this, even when, what's her name, Reese was talking, part of the equation has to come back to me. So the question is, when it comes to me is, number one, what is my purpose? What am I about in this given situation? Meaning that if you're lying to me, Reggie, okay, and I'm sitting there taking that, and I'm sitting there hearing that, my question to me, Jerome, is, Jerome, what is your purpose in this situation? Because if I believe that you're lying, I believe I have an obligation to try to find out what's behind that. Because remember, we're partners. We're in some type of relationship. All right. So what's causing you to do that? Is it because you got something inside of you that needs healing or help? Or is it something inside of me that didn't size you up from the beginning and I join the partnership with you. So that's when you were reading from the chapter, that's what I thought about was, hey, wait a minute, how do we come together? And then I say to myself, Jerome, is it me that missed something? Or is it this person that has something inside of them that I don't have the ability to change, but they're being themselves? Now the question is, can I tolerate that and still move forward? Or do I need to find a way to move on? Because that's going to hinder me from, So
there you go. I got off in that car.
you my boy, Red. You still my boy. But you need prayer. You still need prayer. I'm telling you that.
I was honest.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Your leg over there, and the other one. I said no.
But it's how you say it though. You can't be like, yeah, your leg over there though. I'm not gonna say it. That's what y'all was laughing at. Like I'm just going, yeah, man, your leg over there though. I'm not gonna be messy about it. You gotta say it. The situation, I can't right now. I can't because it's not in the situation. You know what I'm saying? But Miss Carol, your leg over there, but you're gonna be all right, man. No, I wouldn't do it that way. I would not. Miss Carol, Miss Carol, look, I'm here to support you, but I'm trying to your limbs. That's better though, right? That's better. I still need prayer. That was a little better though.
Don't even bring the limbs up. Why would you even bring the limbs up?
Exactly.
Like, if I showed up at the scene, I'm not going to tell you your leg's over there, but
not this.
If you ask me, I'm gonna be honest. If you ask me, but I'm not gonna tell you unless
she asked me. She said, "How's it looking, Reg?" She said, "How's it looking, Reg?" That's exactly what she said. And I'm gonna sit up there. Hey, it's looking great. And then she gets to the hospital.
You're gonna be okay.
Yeah, you're gonna be okay, but
just pray.
You ain't gonna be able to walk.
Oh my gosh.
She gonna respect me for the truth. She is gonna respect me for the truth. It might take time. But she's gonna be like, you know, Reginald, at least you was honest with me. You get at least you was honest with me.
What if
that's not gonna work in that situation?
What if you say you down the block and I got into shock?
No, you can't go into shock. You're already shocked. You shocked to see me with you.
That's too funny. Well, here's another area. When you're in business, right?
Uh-huh.
Let's say you have a group of people and something gets messed up. And then one of the other departments come over and they're inquiring about that. They find out something got messed up. Now they're going to come to you. Your people didn't tell you about it, right? Because they're trying to clean it up without telling you instead of going to you so that you can help them clean it up before it gets out there. And then you get addressed and say, you know what? The department comes over to you and says, your people messed up. What are you gonna do? You gotta lie a little bit. So you say, oh no, that's okay. That's okay. I heard about that. We're already fixing it up. There's no problem with that. And then go on to the conversation. Now that's a lie. But you're not gonna stand there looking like stupid, like you don't know what's going on and stuff, right? And then you got to go and make sure that stuff does get cleaned up. And why didn't somebody tell me ahead of time? So that's a scenario where that goes on in business all the time.
Yeah. So that just everybody lies. Everybody lies. I lie. Everybody lies. You gonna run across that time where that lie got to come off that tongue. That's what that book said. That's exactly what that book said. That book just said that. Didn't that book just say that? We just read it. You gonna lie. That's what the book says.
I think the only time it's okay to lie is if you're surprising somebody, and that's like
okay.
A surprise party, and then I think that's okay to lie. That's it.
That.
But I learned the hard way because when I was little, my mom was so strict. Time. She was so strict that I'd have to lie so she wouldn't get mad at me. So if one time my car I backed up into the garage and I didn't tell her, but I told my dad, and I told my dad not to tell her. And he was like, I can't lie to your mom. And I'm like, why? And we got an argument about it. And I didn't understand it at the time. And now as an adult, I get it, because we call him Honest Abe now, because he never lies, ever. Like, he'll go return $20. He'll go to like the police department instead of just keeping the $20. Like, he's that honest. So it's a joke now, but now I get it. And I think it hurts the other person 90% of the time. So now I try to not lie, and I'll just be honest and just take the heat and deal with it and then move on. Because when you lie, it's going to come out in the wash. It may come out 6 months from now, but somebody's going to remember what you said. And I'm good at that too. Sometimes I remember little details people say, and then 6 months later they say something different. And I'm like, that's not what you said 6 months ago, but okay. I remember little things like that for some reason, but I pick and choose my battles on who I call out and who I don't. But I think the lies will come out eventually at some point. So.
You hear that, Miss Carol? You hear that, Miss Carol? I that's it.
Nah.
The lie gonna come out, Miss Carol.
I know
You'll slip.
I know Reese had something she wanted to say, and then Talisha unmuted earlier too. So Reese.
Yeah, this is Reese or something, whoever called me that. I already forgot what I wanted to say, but I think I can remember. So it seems like what I was trying to say earlier was like I was in a camp for a long time that like honesty is the best policy under all conditions. But aside from the situation with like people missing legs and all that, it's so subjective. And yes, we all lie. And I think like before we get on this like super self-righteous tip about like, being honest all the time, especially in emergency cases, like we don't know half the time when we do lie to ourselves and to other people. You know what I'm saying? So like I think I touched on that a little bit earlier, right? Like about like delusion. And sometimes like that's a matter of like if we have a situation where it would shake us up too much, like it would shake up our identity too much or our value system too much to admit something to ourselves. So we end up lying to many people, including ourselves. So like, I don't know, I think that you can have a perception of being a really honest person and think that you're really honest and like forthright and forthcoming, but still be like extremely deluded and opportunistic in areas where you have a perception that it's a necessity. And those can be some really like subconscious beliefs that you don't even realize that you're doing it. So I think I may be losing everybody here, but just because I've been thinking about this topic a lot lately, and like, what's it worth, right? Like, what's the most important? Like, what's the purpose in the situation? And like, does it really need to be called a lie all the time? If it's a matter of resolving an immediate conflict, like Carol was saying, like at work. Like, do you really need to like every time like look at that and be like, oh, I lied, you know, that was bad, like I messed up, I should stop doing that, you know what I'm saying? Or to just look at it like I'm like making practical choices, like, and I'm not gonna like trip up about some trivia right now because I need to just like keep moving and respond in a practical manner.
All right. Thank you, Reese. And it's something that you were saying, and I want to make sure I heard it correctly, because you were talking about like when it becomes that, oh, we lost Reese. So I have a question. How do you, when it comes to being deceptive to work for you or against you, like, how do you really know how do you know if you're lying? And how do you know if you're lying if you're always lying to yourself? How do you even know what the truth is? Just a question to ponder.
Yeah, that's another good.
You don't.
Yeah, that's
You
another
don't.
good question.
Yeah.
Because I think some people, and of course I don't come across a lot of them, but some people who are like compulsive liars and lie all the time, they actually believe their lie. I've worked with somebody like that before, and I got to a point to where I was like, I think they actually believe their lie because they told themselves that in their head for so long. But they'll tell a lie, and sometimes there's like this fine line. Like, do they truly believe that, and that's why they share that?
That's their truth.
That's their truth. Yeah, exactly.
That's why I'm not.
It's
that's
like
why
not
I'm
the
not a lie.
correct truth, but yeah, it's their truth. You're right.
That's why it's not a lie. But to them, that's why it's not a lie, because it's their truth. So they're telling the truth. You know. So.
But then that's kind of where like the therapy, like somebody it needs therapy for that, because that's an extreme level. That's mental health right there. That's different.
Yeah, I got what. Then we can wrap it up. But so you're in a relationship, right? Married, unmarried, spouse, whatever, and whoever, I don't care who it is, the male or the female, say, how do I look in this? What you gonna say? And I mean, you got to look. It ain't what everybody else got to see. It's what you got to look at for the next X amount of hours. Are you going to sit up there and tell that person the truth or a lie?
Well, true.
You want to lie
or
you going to lie because you want to protect their feelings?
Well, they're asking you, so they want to know the truth. Because do they need to change? Then maybe they need to change. So they want to know the truth. So I would tell them the truth. And then you can't get mad because you asked
what if they're sensitive and you know they're sensitive? And you know they're sensitive. And you know we just talked about protecting. What were we protecting?
Then I'd probably just be gentle about it. So I'd probably say something like, that looks fine, but I like the other shoes better or something. I wouldn't be like rude, like,
I was asking for a friend. I was just asking for a friend.
Just gentle with it. Yeah.
Yeah. I was asking for a friend because I think that's the same thing as a leg.
It is.
It's the same thing as a leg. It's the same thing. I'm sorry. Y'all knew where I was going with that. Y'all knew exactly where I was going with that. That's the same thing.
If somebody looks disgusting or
you better tell them.
You just say that doesn't fit your beautiful shape the way it should.
I never heard it that way.
That you did have the other day that you wore to that party, but whatever, wear that. That really looks good on you. That's all. Just compliment them out of the outfit.
You just taught me something. You just taught me how. Thank you. I needed that one. Maybe I'll be too blunt. Don't you ever wear that cloth again. That material was not working with your skin complexion. You understand what I'm saying? Hey.
All right. Go ahead, Talisha.
To the original question, I really want to say being unethical is unethical. Bottom line, straight born, period. No matter if you try to tell a lie, and then when you lie, you're painting, and you know you lie, you just paint a picture to make yourself sound good, or to make the truth not sound what it really is. So to me, when you lie, you're being unethical. Bottom line, point, straight blank. I don't believe in sugarcoating no other type of way. A lie is a lie. I do want to share something what Carol mentioned about the job. True story. I'm not gonna tell you the name of the company, but in this company, I was HR/admin. And one thing I hate is the lack of communication in a company, especially if somebody's working on the same thing as you. right? Say your shift in and they come in and try to do your part or finish it up because y'all supposed to be partners in it. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this. We had 2 people with the same names, right? One was supposed to get fired, right? I get a call middle of the night. I'm wondering why somebody called me at midnight. Talisha, I need your help. I done messed up. I don't want such and such to know. How do I fix this situation? Now, 1, I'm trying to calm you down because you're panicking. 2, I'm really mad at you because you just messed up instead of calling before you even decide to make this decision. All I know is I walked in the office the next day. The manager got a call from the head person because the employee went to the manager and told her, hey, I didn't get paid, right? You didn't get paid because my ex-partner decided to terminate you, to terminate the wrong person out the system. So they didn't get paid. So guess who in the office? Me and the other person. On something that person made a mistake on and never told the manager what went down. So I'm having empathy for the person that's not about to get their check. They rent probably do. But guess what? They're going to have to wait 2-3 weeks to fix the mix up that someone else did. But you sit in the office and you lying and saying, oh, that person, well, Talisha didn't tell me this, or Talisha didn't do this or this or this. Why are you putting me in the middle of your lack of communication or something you didn't communicate with me before you decided? You should have asked me, hey, is that person last name, middle name? You should look at the middle name. They got both names the same, the first name and the last name. Look at the middle name. I'm pretty sure that's different. I'm pretty sure the date of birth is different, but they failed to do that. So in business, when you decide to cover up your stuff, it causes a big can of worms and causes people to lose their jobs and cause other people who had no plans on being hurt in the process. So to me, lying altogether is just don't work. It just don't work. You hurt a lot of people, and I want to get this off my chest because for me telling the truth don't help. The other side of the coin, me telling the truth seems as though it never helps because the person that lies about it get more leeway than the person that tells the truth. Which is sad, but that's how business are. And growing up as kids, we all heard our parents tell, I don't care if you stole a piece of candy. Your parents, you better tell the truth. You better tell the truth. Did you take that candy? You better tell the truth because then they'll go down that line with you. I think Monica was saying that. They'll go down that line with you to where you either gonna lie to save your butt or you're gonna tell the truth and take that consequence and get your butt whooped. For me, telling the truth has never worked for me. I'm gonna share a story with you guys, and it's gonna be brief. I'm not gonna tell you the whole story. But I think I was in middle school or high school. No, it was middle school. I did something very terrible and got expelled from it. And I wouldn't have got expelled if I would have lied. You want to know that? This is sad. This is sad that I have to say this. I wouldn't have got expelled if I lied because I had parents telling me growing up, hey, you better tell the truth. So I've been telling the truth all my life. But in this one particular time, do you not know, I walked out that office and my dad was my foster dad was very upset with me. He was like, I can't believe you went there and told the truth. Why would you tell the truth? That now you're expelled. Do you know how that made me feel? That the person that raised me, teach me integrity, teach me how to be ethical, how to be a leader, and you're going to tell me that I should have lied on this to save my butt? That's just like back in slavery. You have to lie so you wouldn't get killed. So for me, I went a whole year out of school, straight A student, and the principal had no care if I was a straight A student. They didn't care if I was good in school. I did that one thing and messed up my entire graduation year. I was supposed to graduate. The class I was planning on graduate, because of that freshman year I messed up, I was not able to graduate with my class. And it wasn't that I couldn't go take the summer classes and catch up. No, it was a deliberate. Since you lied about something, this is the foster mother, since I I told the truth on something and got expelled, she made me suffer the entire time instead of driving me to go to school for summer school to make up so I can be in my right grade. So to me, for me, and even to now, me telling truth does not get me anywhere. From others, it may work. But do I decide I'm going to lie about something? Now I'm very cautious. I may tell you a lie, I might tell you the truth. It just depends on the situation because now I'm cautious. What is this going to get me? And
I think that's.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, sorry. I was gonna say, I think that'd be a tough situation for me too if I were in your shoes, because you saw the people you trusted want you to lie, but also too, it could affect you in the future, in your future relationships, because you could meet someone who wants complete honesty and appreciates you for complete honesty, but you have these experiences that you've had where honesty was not the right answer. So I could see that being super tough, in your situation, because I know you still like to be honest and cautious and stuff, but I think that would be hard, because I think you will have somebody that comes across your path that will appreciate the honesty, and you'll be completely happy. But because of those experiences, I could see why you have the hesitation.
Yeah, and my brother told me that. He was like, you want people with a white picket fence, and you want the world just be perfect. It's not gonna be perfect, Talisha. But it bothers me, my soul, to know that people that are supposed to be considered leaders lie to get themselves to where they are. That's all I want to share.
Thank you, Talisha, for sharing with us, and that is why we are doing the integrity leadership class as well. So ladies and gentlemen, Reverend Reginald, any final words before we close it out for the evening?
I think I said enough words for the night. I gotta get prayed for. So.
All right. Well, thank each and every one of you for joining us for the integrity leadership class. We have finished friend and foe, and next week we're going to review chapters 1 through 3 of Conversations with God, book 1. So between now and next Thursday, read Conversations with God, book 1, chapters 1, 2, and 3, and we will have an open discussion about these chapters next week on Thursday, starting at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, 4:30 Pacific, 6:34. Thank you, Grace. All right. So thank you so much for joining us for the Integrity Leadership class. We'll see you guys next Thursday. Have a words from our CEO. You can plant better. You can dominate. Thank each and every one of you for joining us this evening. And Reese, you should receive the what's it called, Grace? Syllabus either tonight or tomorrow morning. So I just want to let you know. Thank you so much. Thank you. Good night, everyone. Have a great night.